And now please help me welcome Rose City Trombones.
Two words. We're back. This has been a long time coming. It's about 10 years in the making. We were actually scheduled to do this last year, but due to COVID, impacted a lot of our lives in many ways, and impacted us being able to perform here. We want to thank the City of Hillsborough, Arts and Vision, and the Walters Center for their flexibility, because we've actually had to schedule this a couple of times. We want to thank you also for your patience with this too. And we're very, very grateful to be here and be able to perform for you tonight. On a Friday night, you all came out to listen to a bunch of trombone players. We couldn't be more grateful. So thank you so much. And we're in our 11th year now, and it's pretty cool that we've some fun things we're going to get to share with you tonight. We're really excited about. And I want to turn it back over to Maestro David Bryan to kind of take over from this point. But again, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, John. The first piece was Tower Music by the Czech-born composer who later became a U.S. citizen, prominent 20th century composer Václav Nelibel. That was written in the early 1970s. Next is a composition that was written several centuries before that by Franz Joseph Haydn. It's from his great oratorio, The Creation, and this movement from The Creation, Achieved is a Glorious Work, is a favorite of trombonists because it has a very prominent bass trombone solo passage in the original orchestration. But this, of course, is arranged for trombone ensemble. It was arranged by a gentleman named Donald Miller, who was a student at the Eastman School of Music that had a very renowned trombone choir under its longtime director, Emery Remington. Eastman School of Music is very prominent in the development of trombone ensemble playing. So we hope you enjoy Achieved is a Glorious Work by Haydn, as arranged by Donald Miller. Thank you. Next, we're back to the 20th century, and this is a piece, or two pieces. It says two pieces for three trombones. Well, it's certainly a tradition in trombone ensemble music to double or triple parts of smaller works. Quartets, the last piece we played, was actually arranged as a quartet, but is often played by a larger trombone ensemble. And this piece, written as a trio by a prominent 20th century musician named Raymond Premru. He was American-born. In fact, he went to the Eastman School of Music as well. He was part of the trombone choir under Emery Remington. And then went to London and started working in film music and commercial music, and then became the bass trombonist in the Philharmonia Orchestra, one of the top orchestras in London, and had a 30-year career there, and then decided to come back to the States and accepted a teaching position at Oberlin. But unfortunately, after several years there, he died at a young age. He was just in his 60s, died of cancer. But so he had a prominent performing career, mostly in England, where he also was a member of the renowned Philip Jones Brass Ensemble, made many recordings with them. But he always had an interest in composition. And so this is a piece originally written for trio in 2 movements. The first is Felicity, and the second is Episode. This is music by Raymond Premer. Bach. MASH, right? Am I right? Okay, yes. Well, it's certainly true, right? In the Pantheon, he's way up there. And this Passacaglia In Fugue is a very important and well-known composition. Been originally written for organ. Obviously, Bach was a very fine organist. Fine is beyond, fine is an understatement. It's like saying he was a fine composer. He was brilliant and very hardworking, very prolific throughout his long career. But this particular piece was a relatively early piece of his that has been transcribed for all sorts of combinations, from very full, large orchestra. Leopold Stokowski, who recorded it, I think, 4 different times. This obviously is for trombone, specifically for 8 trombones. We're using 11. And this particular arrangement is by a gentleman named Donald Hunsberger. Once again, we go back to that Eastman School of Music connection. Donald Hunsberger was a trombonist and student in that famous trombone group with Emery Remington conducting. And then he himself went on to become the conductor of the famed Eastman Wind Ensemble. And he also arranges for the full wind ensemble, but this arrangement for trombones, we think really serves the music well and provides a really fun workout for everybody in the group. So this is Donald Hunsberger's arrangement of Johann Sebastian Bach's Passacaglia and Fugue in C minor.
think that's one that Andy and I pull out every 2 or 3 years as kind of a marker to see how our group's doing, you know, temperature gauge, see if everyone's practicing, you know, all their lessons. So, again, thank you all for being here tonight. I wanted to, first again, I want to talk a little bit about the organization that we are, that's a benefactors in this. As you saw when you walked in the door, you saw a robot there, and that's Shockwave Robotics. It's part of an organization called First Robotics. And it's an amazing organization. They have thousands of teams all over the world that they basically start the first weekend in January. And I have children that were on this team, and I'll promise you, 6 a.m. the first day of the year we can do it. They announce what the field's going to be and what's all going to be, and they have about 3 months to build that robot that you see out there. That isn't a kit that comes together. They cut the parts, they make the parts, they design it, they program it, everything that's involved. It's an amazing group of mentors and a fantastic organization. And when I was putting this application together 3 years ago, we just got done doing our auction for the robotics team and said, well, why not have them benefit, be a part of this? And what's amazing to me anyways, my older son who just graduated last weekend, is that we go into these gymnasiums that I played basketball in as a kid. And they're filled with all these teams around here competing with robots and, you know, playing 80s rock and roll. Thank you very much. That's the only era of music that shouldn't be played. It's album music. But you're watching all of this brain power getting flexed, you know? And it didn't exist when I was in high school. None of that was around. So it's amazing being able to see this. So thank you all for coming tonight. We're proceeds we're splitting with them, and we appreciate that. And if you ever get a chance, ask them for information. Go to their website. If you have a company that's looking to align themselves with a team, they're more than open to talk with you about it. So there are various ways that they have sponsorships too. So, but I'm grateful my boys got to have a chance to be a part of it, and it was a wonderful event. And I'll just tell you, those kids work. I mean, it's 4 nights a week, 6:30, 9:30, and all day Saturday. I sat through one of their meetings. I was tired. I went home, took a nap, just thinking about it. So, but it's pretty amazing because the kids really get stretched. I mean, they compete with robots. They break down. They got to problem solve with the deadline to have it ready for the next match. How many people work ever have to deal with deadlines and such? I mean, there's just amazing skills. That's actually my favorite part when I would go to these competitions. The robot break down. I'm like, how are they going to fix it? How are they going to get it back up? Because guess what? They figured it out. But it's pretty amazing what they get. So if you haven't had a chance, please go visit the table in the back before you head out and ask any question you like. They'll be able to answer it, believe me. So that's Shockwave Robotics. I also want to thank some of our sponsors here. So we're pretty excited because we have these cool new shirts that we get to wear tonight. And it was there's a company by the name of Wall to Wall Home Inspections. Yeah. Oh, Dave, you're going to get yours, I promise. Now, I've known David, actually I knew David because his mother was my piano accompanist when I was in high school, so I saw pictures of him. I didn't really know him at the time, but our agreement is I only call him Maestro and I don't look him in the eyes for the last 3 months. Love you, Dave. So, but Wall to Wall Home Inspections sponsored getting these shirts, and also we got a set of polos as well that we're going to get to wear for performances we get to do. What's even better is the owner of Wall to Wall Home Inspections is a member of our group. I want Larry Coates to please come out. And we sent me an email and he said, hey guys, how about I sponsor getting shirts for everybody? And it's purely what it was. And no strings attached or anything, but I want to make sure he gets as much publicity as he can. So I'm going to talk him up as much. So if you're selling your home, wall-to-wall home inspections. But thank you, Larry. I also want to thank, you'll see on the back of the program, Finley Sunset Hills Mortuary. And you're thinking, what is a mortuary doing sponsoring a concert like this? Well, here's what's amazing is they have a covered area outside that they've allowed us to be able to have socially distant rehearsals during all these variants that have been coming around. we played the Pops National Anthem, we've had some other performances, and they've been very generous to us. And so they've lent their facility to us, which normally we rehearse in the community rooms in some of the firehouses around, but those are closed down still. So we're very, very grateful to Finley Sunset Hills Mortuary. And is Amanda Cornelius out there? Please stand up, Amanda. Thank you so much. Thank you again for coming tonight, and Dave, back to you. So, Maestro, excuse me.
Okay, our next selection is originally a vocal piece. We have been performing so far a nice mix of original music for trombone ensemble and transcriptions, which is typical of our concerts. And this piece by Morton Lauritsen is certainly one of the most performed and recorded vocal pieces of the last 30 years or so. O Magnum Mysterium, which has been set by composers, again, since Renaissance time. But this is a beautiful setting, and it's been performed instrumentally by, once again, bands and orchestras and full brass ensemble, brass quintet. We happen to think, we might be a little bit biased, but we happen to think that the version for trombone ensemble really captures the essence of this piece the best. So we're very happy to perform this O Magnum Mysterium by Morton Lauritsen.
some fun things we need to share with you tonight. Isn't that beautiful piece? Lawrence, and it just gets me every time. I love it. I can't play that one enough here. There are surprises and some wonderful things that came up to us through the pandemic. And one was actually from a friend of mine and great musician here, Travis Freshner. He offered up, he says, John, I'm working on this quartet. I'd like for you guys to play it. You guys might have an opportunity to. And I was like, yeah, actually we're going to have this concert. We're looking to do this. Travis and his wife are extremely well-known educators here in the Portland area. They've won countless awards with their music programs. And Travis has created a great career of doing projects and engraving for a world-renowned composer by the name of Eric Wazen. And he's venturing into composing things for here. And this is the Rose Quartet. This is the first composition ever written for us. So we're really excited that we get, it's one of the bucket list items we never thought of, that we get something written for us, and it's by a guy who likes the show Scrubs more than I do. He actually wrote a jingle, right? He wrote the jingle for their podcast. Yeah. So yeah. But Travis, thank you so much for putting this, and we hope we do it justice for you tonight. So, the Rose Quartet by T. Fresh, Travis Fresh.
What a thrill to perform a composition for the first time ever. Well, we did rehearse it, but once or twice. Well, in our jumping back and forth, we don't get any more modern than that. That was written just within the last year. We'll go to the music of Anton Bruckner, fabulous 19th century composer, symphonist. He, like Bach, was a wonderful organist, and his music certainly shows the grandeur of the organ-like sonorities in beautiful spaces. He wrote a fair amount of vocal music, motets, a few of which actually have trombone in the orchestration. And then he also wrote a couple of pieces of equality, just for trombones. In that, he was following in the footsteps of Beethoven, who wrote 3 equalities for trombone, 4 trombones in Beethoven's case. But this motet, Christus Factus Est, right? Yes. There are actually 2, Bruckner wrote 2 by that title. And this is the second, I believe. And this has been very artfully arranged for trombone by a gentleman who is here tonight and who has had a decades-long influence on the music community in the Portland area, starting at a young age when he was still a teenager and principal trombonist in the Portland Youth Philharmonic, or Portland Junior Symphony, it was known then. He started performing with the Portland Opera and other professional organizations, and his arrangements for brass, and particularly trombone ensemble in these last years, have been performed all over the world. You can see performances of them by very prominent groups on YouTube. So I'd like to recognize Randall Monstrom, who's here tonight. With this arrangement, we are bringing a couple of tiny trombones to the proceedings. Gentlemen, we have 2 alto trombones here. These are pitched a 4th higher than the regular tenor trombone in B flat. These are pitched in the key of E flat. So they're roughly 2/3 the size of the tenor trombone. So with the addition of this, we now have from alto, we have straight tenor trombones, we have orchestral tenor trombones with the efficacious, we have the bass trombone, and we have the contrabass trombone. So let's let you put the names of all the people here together with the faces. So, and I'll just ask them to give a quick wave. I don't have time to give everyone's personal vita because it's quite extensive. We have marvelous performers here with extensive backgrounds. So, all right. Larry Coates, Jason Elliott, John North, Otto Cheetah, Brad McMillan, Graham Middleton, John Congas, Sam Lau, Andrew Thompson. And the 2 gentlemen that hold the lower end of the ensemble together also hold the ensemble together in many ways. They are co-founders, co-leaders of the Rose City Trombones. We have Andrew Taylor and John Onstead. My name is David Bryan. Sometimes I get to play with the ensemble, and sometimes I conduct, just depending on the needs of the group. So we're certainly very pleased to be able to perform here for you tonight, and gratified to see all the seats being filled. It's just fantastic. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to prepare ourselves and get tuned and so forth, and perform the Bruckner for you.
So our group got to hear this particular arrangement when we were performing at the International Trombone Festival in, of all places, Iowa City, Iowa. Great place for an international festival. But it was a beautiful arrangement. We got to hear a couple of great soloists with, it was a mixed group of our military bands that were domiciled in DC. I have a couple of friends actually that played them, and it was incredible to hear. But one thing about this, if you pay attention to the lyrics on this, and I think it's pretty applicable to kind of where we all are now. I'm not going to get too self-righteous here, but the chorus of this, it's, we're neither pure nor wise nor good. We'll do the best we know. We'll build our house and chop our wood and make our garden grow. So think about the gardens you're tending, starting over, rebuilding as we're coming out of this. It's a beautiful piece, and I think it's really appropriate. We hope you enjoy Make Our Garden Grow by Leonard Bernstein.
And this beautiful arrangement of Make Our Garden Grow from Bernstein's Candide features two solos: on tenor trombone, Graham Middleton, and on bass trombone, John Onstead.
Don't applause yet, we haven't played.
Maybe they're hoping we won't play.
again, we want to thank you all for making time out of your evening for coming here tonight. We want to thank again the City of Hillsborough, the Walter Center, and the Hillsborough Arts Commission. They're going to have a whole nother season next year of these programs where they're going to bring groups like us. A friend of mine, Dan Bossert, where are you? I know you're playing something next year. I'm doing something with him next year, so it'll be fun. And we want to thank Wall to Wall Home Inspections, Sunset Doing Mortuary, and we also want to thank Shockwave Robotics. Please be sure to go visit the table there before you head out. It's fantastic. And we also want to thank the families of everybody on this stage. And a couple times a week in preparing this, so I want to thank all the patient family members, and you get us back, and which may be a bad thing, I don't know, but we appreciate you taking time on your Friday night, and I'm really excited. Dave Parker, are you here? Dave, stand up. Dave Parker, he was an original member of this group. We're going to finish tonight with his arrangement of Amazing Grace, and it's a fantastic arrangement of it. Dave Parker is retired band director at Gladstone High School. He built an amazing program there that continues to this day, and he continues to do some fantastic arrangements with various groups around town. Dave, thank you so much for also blessing us with this chart too. We appreciate it. And we're going to feature a couple people. We're going to first have Brad McMillan, and as Dave Ryan would say, the Dean of Trombone playing in Portland, John North, will be playing in some solos here. So we hope you enjoy it. Amazing Grace, and have a great night, a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.